Welcome to the Farmers Market Feud.
On February 1st, 2014, the Washington State Farmers Market Association presented the first ever Farmers Market Feud. Funded by the Washington State Department of Agriculture, the game brought together 5 farmers throughout Washington State and 5 market managers throughout the state to test their knowledge about the industry.
What does you call? You call. Oh, wow. Heads or tails, does you goes first?
Call
which
now,
team?
when it's in the air.
When it's in the air.
It's in the air.
Heads.
Heads it is.
All right, here we go. Each team gets a chance to answer the questions until they get it wrong, and then it bounces over to the other team, and they get a chance to go until they get it wrong. And points are awarded by the top answers, obviously. Okay, here's question number 1. All right, King County market managers were surveyed in January of 2014. They were asked, what's the best reason to not extend a market season?
There aren't enough farmers to support the market.
That's worth 5 points. There are 2 more answers with more points to them. You have a chance to get them. Best reason not to extend a market season.
There's 3 answers.
Weather.
Number 1. 15 points. Okay, there's 1 more answer remaining. Best reason not to extend the market season.
I'd say product availability.
That's number 2, 10 points. Wow. Okay, started over here, so I'm coming over here now. All right. The Neighborhood Farmers Market Alliance farmers were surveyed in January of 2014. They were asked, what, in your opinion, is the primary reason that shoppers come to a farmer's market?
To get to know their farmer.
Number 2 answer, 10 points. It can get you points.
To get the best products.
Quality and flavor, number 1. 15. 1 more question. The last ones are hard because fewer people said it. What's the primary reason shoppers come to a farmer's market?
Boy, those were my first 2.
Well, you're right there. Just pick the next one.
No.
No, you can't help.
Okay. Well, I'll put down price.
No. All right, we're coming over here. Who answered? All right.
Reason to go to the market.
The primary reason shoppers come to a farmer's market. No, it's the third reason. So.
To support the environment or to help the environment?
No.
Who cares about that environment?
Now we're done. Okay. The third answer there nobody got was the experience. The audience just coming in. All right, we're back over here. Shoppers at the Portland Farmers Market were asked, what keeps shoppers from shopping here more often? Why don't shoppers shop at the market more often? No conferring, you have to pick your own answer. We know managers don't talk to each other anyway.
Just hard to get in.
This is for shoppers.
Yes, so it's
Hard to get
hard
in.
to fit it in the schedule.
That's the number 1 answer, 15 points. All right. When you guys are ready, let me know. You ready for that?
It's too expensive.
Too expensive. Where are we?
Nope.
No. Here we got the steel. Your turn. Pick up that microphone.
Reason that customers cannot
come to the market.
come to market. The day of the week it's on.
I'm going to say no.
No, that's more like a number 1 that's already been answered.
Right. Yep. We're moving on. How many points? Oh yeah, show them the answer by all means. Right. Not enough product selection in the weather. Our goal here is to get you to have things to discuss and to think about. We're not trying to prove something is right or wrong. So keep in mind, these are all opinions. All right. Okay. Now we're doing the speed round. Each of these answers have. Well, there's some of them are 2 answer questions and some of them are 3 answer questions. You get more points. Each one of these is worth 50 points. So you might be behind, but you can catch right up. All right. Which is better? A good display, good products, and a good-looking booth, or B, friendly, knowledgeable, courteous staff?
A.
According to whom?
Yeah, according to who?
Yeah, I don't know. The question just says which is better. We're coming over here. You guys have a chance to steal.
Choices.
Which? The answer was friendly, knowledgeable, courteous staff, according to some people. You're not going to debate the questions. We're just going to ask them and answer them. All right, this is the speed round. Nobody got any points there. You didn't lose anything. Nobody got any points. So now we're over here. Whose turn is it now? Okay.
Can we confirm on these?
I think they can confer on these. They can confer on these. They can get together as a group and confer.
Sure.
Yeah. All right, here's the next speed round question. For every $100 spent at a farmer's market, how much goes back into the local economy? 30 to 50, 51 to 70, 71 to 90. How much money comes back out of $100 spent at a local farmer's market? $100 spent at the farmer's market comes back into the local economy is the question. How much of that?
All right, enough conference time.
It is a speed round. Let's get going.
Okay, consensus is number 3.
Number 3, which is 71 to 90? No. The actual answer was the middle range. It was $62. It's between 51 and 70, so it's number 2.
If they didn't get it, we don't get a chance.
Right, no, because you know the answer, because that's what I tried to do before, but I'm not too bright.
Yeah, we could use that help.
Did they take out all the wrong answers you want to play? Okay. That makes sense. All right, we still got, there's 2 more speed round questions. Nobody's gotten any points on the speed round so far. There's 1 more question here, 1 more question there. So you both have a chance. The number 3 speed round question is, in 2013, WSU surveyed 508 farmers who sell at farmers markets. What percentage said they agree and strongly agree that there should be a way to verify all farm vendors at Washington farmers markets? Number 1 is 25%, number 2 is 45%, number 3 is 75%. How many farmers think?
75%. Number 3.
You've just now taken the lead. All right, you guys have a chance to take the lead back. Here's your last speed round question. In 2013, WSU surveyed 497 farmers who sell at farmers markets. What percentage said they disagree and strongly disagree that there are too many farmers markets in Washington? Number 1 is 35%, number 2 is 60%, number 3 is 80%.
Okay, time's up.
All right, let's go.
Number 3.
Number 3, 80%?
80%.
No. Hey, the current scores are 75, and I have no idea what the score is over here. 75 and 45, so we're not far off. 1 question can be worth 50 points in the future, so keep that in mind. All right, I think I'm back over here, and we're now getting back to regular questions. And I have a timekeeper wave at me when time happened, but she's not even in the room. Okay, here's the question. In 2010, 66 farmers selling at the neighborhood farmers markets in Seattle said the top 3 things that market organizers could do to improve the markets were...
This is not the
No, this is not the lightning round. We're back to your individual. Sorry.
That's hard.
It confuses me too.
Yeah, okay.
66 farmers want managers to do what to improve the markets?
Advertise more.
Number 1 answer. All right, well, I'm not leaving you. I'm doing like that. Right. I'm so used to going back and forth because you guys are so terrible at this game. Okay. All right, you have 2 more chances to answer that question. You know what this question is?
Okay. More chef demos?
No. All right, whose turn is it? Things farmers said managers should do to improve markets. We're looking for 2. There's 2 possible other answers.
More special events?
No. No. Now we're done. Yeah. Okay, put the answers up. And different people say different things, different times. 7. In 2013, try to stay calm out there. In 2013, WSU surveyed farmers market farmers. What are the top 3 motivations for farmers to sell at farmers markets in Washington State?
To support their community.
Number 3 answer. 5 points. There's 2 better answers with higher points.
To build relationships.
She's been reading the material. Number 1 answer, 15. There's 1 more answer that can work. What do farmers say brings farmers to farmers markets?
to capture the full retail value of their products.
Okay. We're moving on to number 8. There's the answers for, but you already heard them all. Number 8. Okay. In 2013, WSU surveyed farmers market farmers in Washington State. What were the top 3 marketing channels other than farmers markets used by farmers to sell their products? No help.
Roadside stands.
Number 1. 15 points. 2 more answers will get
Restaurants.
you. Restaurants is 10 points.
Direct sales?
No. There's one answer that'll get you some points.
Sales to stores.
Number 3. All right. Now, where am I going? I'm back over here. All right. You ready?
I'm ready.
WSU surveyed farmers market managers in Washington State in 2010 and asked, what strategies does your market use to serve low-income community members?
EBT?
Number 3 answer. 5 points.
Community service, a meeting with the community service people, like at the health department that work with these people to advertise the market.
If you keep going, you'll get the right words in there. No! How do farmers market managers say they reach low-income communities, members?
Through donations. Through donations.
I will accept that.
You'll accept that. Is that, oh, that's number 2. Number 2 answer, right, 10 points. No one's gotten the top answer yet. We've had donations and we've had EBT.
We haven't said FMNP.
Number 1 answer, 15 points. You got 5, okay. So, all right, we're doing the speed round again. Whose side am I starting on? Help me out. Where am I starting? Starting here? Okay. All right, this is the ones you can confer on, but I'm hearing the answer from you. In 2013, WSU tallied total shoppers at Washington State farmers markets. What's the total of farmers market shoppers in Washington State in 2013, according to WSU? Number 1 is 4 million, number 2 is 6.5 million, number 3 is 8 million.
But this is visits? It has to be visits. They can't count. It's 8 million.
We're going with 8 million.
8 million. That's the right answer. All right, the second speed round question, whose turn is it? All right, here it is. What's the average size of farm that sells at a farmer's market in Washington State? It's 7 acres, 23 acres, or 66 acres?
Number 3, 66 acres.
That's it, 50 points. All right, we're back over here for another speed round question. In 2010, a DOT survey of Washington, D.C. farmers market shoppers, so this is not Washington State, this is Washington, D.C. What percentage of customers agreed or strongly agreed that shopping at a farmer's market has increased their consumption of fresh fruits and vegetables? 36%, 69%, or 82%?
We're going to go with 3.
That's it. 50 points. All right. One more speed round question. Here's your chance. And don't forget, you can confer on this. What is the dollar amount of SNAP or EBT benefits transacted at Washington State farmers markets? 400,000, 750,000, or $1.25 million? You ready? It is a speed round.
3.
No. You guys save that one. Pull that one out. All right, so we're done for that section. All right, so this is a bonus round, and it's the same question for both teams, and you get to vote on who answers it best. Okay? They might have the same answers, they might have different answers, but you get to decide who wins the contest. Yeah, oh, and by applause. So whoever's loudest at the applause for whichever answer wins the game. You guys get to play first. The question is, several community groups sponsor a make-it-yourself wreath event at a large, year-round urban farmers market. Boughs are brought in from cuttings collected at the local watershed by public utility workers. Okay, they're getting the materials for free. Volunteers cut them up into manageable sizes, and other donors provide ornaments, ribbon, twine, pruners, everything you need to make your own wreath. There's no charge for making the wreath at the farmer's market. There is a donation jar at the table. Many folks who are regular food bank clients and other low-income neighborhood residents take advantage of this holiday event. The farmer's market provides the space, canopies, tables, and free hot cider. Every year, the farmer's market has a farm vendor who also sells wreaths and garlands and holiday decorations in his stall. He complains about the event that's free, feels it's too much competition. What to do and why? It's yours.
All right. After much discussion, this is a one-time event, so the competition is for one day. We don't feel like competition is ever a bad thing at a market. And we feel that the customer base is very different between the two vendors, if you want to call the nonprofit a vendor. Low-income people, neighborhood people coming to make a free wreath versus somebody who's in a hurry and wants a pretty swag for their door and is probably going to spend $35 or $40 on that swag in order to be able to get in, get out, get it decorated. The impact to the vendor who's charging is probably relatively minimal. This is also something that has happened every year. So this is an ongoing thing. This isn't a surprise. He's been able to anticipate it every time and adjust accordingly. And if push really came to shove, perhaps something could be worked out in terms of a discount for that one day to that vendor to help compensate. But you'd need to know more about all the personalities involved and how critical it was to maintain that relationship. But we thought there wasn't a whole lot of argument for continuing to have both people there.
Okay, that's one answer. Don't forget you're the judges. We're going to hear the other answer, and you're going to vote on what you think is best.
So this extremely calm, very rational vendor who's just very mellow comes to the market manager to complain about this, and it's a very well thought out argument. The market manager should say that your wreaths are beautiful. They're the best wreaths that anyone can buy for miles in every direction. These wreaths are do-it-yourself wreaths that people are just making on the fly. They're not really truly competing with your wreaths. And at our booth, we will have your wreaths on display and refer people to your tent so that they can go buy the real deal at your tent. So that would be our answer. These community groups are super important. We want to keep them happy, so tough. That's the other answer.
All right. So if you thought this was the best answer, applaud right now. If you thought this was the best answer, applaud. That was worth 1,000 points. All right. We're coming over here for the next bonus round. This is a shorter question, and there it is. 5 or 6 long-term farm vendors in a 35-vendor seasonal farmers market want market organizers to extend the market season past its normal closing day at the end of October. They want to extend the market season from November through March and have threatened to start their own independent market if market organizers don't grant their request. What's the best solution and why?
I would ask them to sit down and we would negotiate and work out the best answers and solutions to them. I would offer out probably to extend the market, maybe not every Saturday, but maybe twice a month, and try to work out all the details with them so they would have the same type of insurance coverage, agreements with where our facilities are, with the property. It depends on where your market would be.
All right, hang on. We're going to get another answer, and you get to vote.
Okay, this is a tough question for a market manager because you're talking about potentially splitting the market. And it goes to the heart of, in my opinion, what is a market for? Are you a real estate developer subletting a space, or are you a link in the chain of the food chain from the farmer to the customer? And I think because of that, you have to figure out a way to at least try to extend the season with the farmers. I think it's reasonable to ask the farmers to pay some, help shoulder some of that, because it's probably going to lose money the first year. But I think it's also important that you let the farmer know what's the value added of the farmer in the meeting, of what's the value proposition, the promotions that you're doing, the insurance, the brand of the farmers market, the risks of splitting the market, so they know what they're getting. You're taking care of the security, you're taking care of the insurance, you're taking care of the leasehold, cleaning up afterwards. But I think at the end of the day, you got to try to work with them, and then depending on whether the market, who the vendors are, and what they're selling, you go, on some sort of schedule that works for everybody.
Okay, if you thought the best answer was from over here, applaud now. If you thought the best answer was over here, applaud now. That is worth 1,000 more points. All right, now we're back here, aren't we? All right, the next bonus round question. A farmer is enjoying her first year as a farmer's market participant. She grows excellent sweet and hot peppers and wants to add value to this product by roasting the peppers at the market. 3 years before this, another farmer at the same market with poor quality peppers initiated a pepper roaster and has roasted peppers successfully. The market is medium-sized, 32 vendors with 12 farmers, 12 processors, 3 prepared food vendors, and 5 crafters. Should this market allow a second pepper roaster, knowing that the new roasted peppers will seriously impact the sales of the first farmer who's been at the market longer? Why or why not?
Well, we want the better product in our farmers market. We don't want to protect shoddy merchandise and exclude better merchandise from coming in. Also, I don't think roasted peppers are like a protected item. We didn't think that there was some sort of a cap or limit on the amount of roasted peppers that could be sold in any one market. It could generate more income for the market to have 2 people selling the same product. It could boost the trend of people buying roasted peppers. And a little competition never hurt anybody.
No plug Who's answering that one? Yeah, remember that. I like that. Somebody write that down.
So we, as market managers, one of our biggest problems actually is trying to deal with lower quality produce. And for my part of the country, that's certainly the case. And so having a higher quality producer come in with a new product to replace another one, it's a great thing that I didn't have to orchestrate. However, I, as a manager, want to be fair as I can to everyone. And so what we would do is allow the vendor, the new vendor, and then as predicted, if sales went down for the old vendor, tactfully have a discussion with them, or maybe even ahead of time, have a discussion with them about improving quality and do our very best to help them improve their quality, and then let market forces do what they're going to do.
All right, if you like the answer over here, applaud now. If you like the answer over here, applaud now. Your decision. That's why we have a judge. I get out of it.
Somebody go here.
All right. That's worth 1,000 points. All right. Okay, which side am I on now?
Number 4.
Number 4. No, did I start here? No. Oh, you did that one. Okay. Oh, that's right. You started. That's right. All right. The 4th bonus round question. A successful farmer's market farmer sells at several farmers markets in the same city over the course of the growing season. Total sales at each market are very similar. She notices, however, that in one market neighborhood, a lot of the market shoppers appear to drive nice new cars and wear expensive clothes. In another neighborhood, she notices that many shoppers take the bus and spend more time at her booth considering the cost of each item. Should she remain constant with her pricing at all markets? Why or why not?
The first thing I do is I compliment the vendor for her sensitivity in discussing this with me to begin with. I say to the vendor that the laws of supply and demand still apply in the market setting. And in my opinion, in my personal opinion, there is no reason why there should not be there could not be differential prices for that vendor at each market. But one of the things I always say to my vendors is, this is a business decision. Here's what I think you ought to consider. First thing, you need to know what your costs of production are so you can make this decision with full information. You need to make sure that you're not pricing below the cost of your production, or if you are, that you've calculated that you can absorb that loss by what you're going to charge in the more wealthy neighborhood. Still, we have to do one more analysis. In the wealthy neighborhood, the price is not inelastic up to the skies. We have to consider, how will this affect the health of the market generally in people's perceptions? Will they perceive the market as a market where rich people are gouged randomly? Or will we be perceived as a market that has good goods, good quality goods that fetch a decent price? So I throw it back to the vendor to make those analyses, and they'll be at that for about a year probably.
Well, pricing is entirely up to the vendor, first of all. And while there may be differences in demographics between neighborhoods and between market areas, there are other things to consider, such as the frequency of EBT or FMNP usage, and there are different ways to price product that make things easier to access with those alternative currencies. And so it may appear that there's a difference in price, but maybe there isn't really a difference in price. If you're going by poundage, maybe if you're weighing a big bunch of something that costs $3, it may be the same as a smaller bunch at $2. And so that makes it more accessible to someone who's using a fixed $2 currency rather than a debit card or cash. But ultimately, it is up to the individual vendor to choose to take that chance if they're going to be called out on different prices at different markets. Personally, I think that that's a bad idea, but that's not me.
All right, if you like this answer, applaud now. And wave your sign. All right, if you like this answer, applaud now. 1,000 points to the farmers. All right, we only have one more of these, thankfully. Oh, wow. All right, here's the last bonus round question for both teams. A market manager collects total sales and a percentage rent fee at the end of each market day from the market vendors. Every week, the manager notices a farm stall that keeps 2 employees continually busy with sales for each of the hours the market is open. But at the end of the day, this farm reports $500 in sales week after week. That's not quite clear, is it? Okay. What should the manager do, if anything, and why?
Okay, so first of all, you have to look at this as the question said, there's 2 employees, so the farmer or the owner is probably not present. And so the market manager, after maybe doing some little surveying of the other market vendors with similar product and seeing what their sales are, go to the farmer and say that it appears that your employees may not be reporting the correct amount, and we're worried that you're not getting the money that you're sending to the market is not getting back to you. Because if they're sending them a slip and saying, we only made $500, and they were busy the whole time, maybe they're skimming some of the money. So you're trying to lay it in the farmer's lap to look and see if maybe these guys aren't treating you fairly. If that doesn't change the sales, like you say next week, see what happens. After that, you conduct a booth study, audit to make sure that there's actually sales being, people are ringing up the proper sales, it's going in the cash registers and not their pocket, and see if the sales go up or down there or stay the same. And when you do the booth audit, you'll get an idea of how many pounds of produce, how many bunches of carrots or something they're selling, and you can reasonably figure out what they should sell. And I think that's fair because as a vendor, reporting sales are really important because those sales go to fund the market, and it's extremely important, and I don't think any vendor would disagree with the market manager protecting the income of the market because it benefits everyone there. So the market has a responsibility to make sure that people are paying their fair share so the market can grow. And so at that point, if there's a discrepancy in the sales, then there's some sort of punitive damage to the farmer. All right? Go Seahawks.
That took a long time to appear.
Should have thought of
The
it.
last bonus round question.
First of all, our job as managers is to support farmers. So I think I would start this off by just asking, how can I help? It looks like your sales are not quite the same as your peers, and I want to know, how can I help you? If that generated a nice response and we could see some income increases in the totals, fantastic. If not, I do agree with Mr. Tonemaker over here, who has some of the finest employees in this state, to do some booth audits, informally, third person, do a couple of them, so it's not just one person feeling like they're being singled out, followed by some more hard conversations.
Are there cue cards that I'm not getting? Hogs.
I don't know.
All right, if you thought this was the best answer, applaud now. If you thought this was the best answer, applaud now. $1,000 points to the farmers. All right, we're officially done. We're going to tally up the points. Somebody make sure those two can add. Thank you all for coming to this. You've been very game. It's been very interesting. Thank you all for playing and being very game with this. Thank you. All right, the managers have 2,175 points, and the farmers have 3,215 points. So the farmers won. Who'd have guessed?